Class?
Yes.
Class, class?
Yes, yes.
Classity class?
Yes, yes.
I have your attention, all eyes over here. Let's see where we are in our day. Did we do morning meeting?
Yes.
Did we do 8-minute math?
Yes.
Hey, here we are at Garden Science. We have been learning about the garden that this class created going back 2 years ago. Many of you were involved with planting the edibles in the butterfly garden and making the bench. Today for Garden Science, we're going to talk about the food chain. Get out your notebooks, your writing notebooks, and a pencil. And on the very next page, because we like to go in order, what do you put? Raise your hand if you can tell me what you put at the top of every page. Josh?
Name and date.
Name and date. So I'll give you a chance to put your name, and the date is March 2nd, 2017. 3/2/17. The month, the day, and the year. And as usual, Miss Giddings and Miss Mack will go around and help you out. All you need right now is name and date. Now, first let's talk about what did we learn yesterday when we went out into the garden looking for producers, consumers, and decomposers. What did you observe? Cody?
That a decomposer is that decomposes old logs.
Okay.
That stuff rot away.
Yeah, we found a decomposer was,
Oh,
well, that log, let's think. We saw a log. We're not going to categorize them just yet. Let's just talk about what you saw. You saw an old log. Zach?
I saw a decomposer.
What was that?
It is called a mushroom.
A mushroom, a fungus. Okay. Does anyone feel like funguses are kind of creepy, or do you like them?
Does
Yes, Cody?
moss count?
A good point. We saw moss. We're going to talk about all the things we saw, maybe some things in a garden we usually like, maybe some things we don't like, but what we're going to talk about is why they're all important. That's the goal for this lesson, to learn why all the parts of the garden are important. Josh, I'll get back to you in just a minute. Kaden, right there.
Flowers and plants are important because they're what are keeping us alive, and that's what they're here for air.
Flowers and plants are important. They're keeping us alive because of the air. Ooh, good observation about.
My space is in the air because there's no trees and plants.
Aha, let's keep that idea of that air and interconnectivity. Josh,
Biomes.
biomes, that's a huge word. Tell me more. What do you know about biomes?
They're different. They're different places.
They are different places.
Like jungle
They're-
biome, desert biome.
Jungle biome, tropical, desert biome. And how would you describe our habitat or our biome that we have here in Oregon? Josh, I know you know. I'm going to call on someone else, Drew, and then I'm going to ask Alexander and Sam. Drew?
I think it's kind of like a jungle-ish kind of thing because I saw some tulips that aren't yet grown, but in the leaves there is some water and it's really wet here,
Ah.
so it makes it look like it's a jungle.
We kind of feel like a jungle. There's tons of trees in Oregon. And in the tulips, you saw water. And so it's very rainy. We do live in a coniferous rainforest. That is our biome. So now that we know what we've seen in our garden, and I see that you have a lot of questions, hold on because we're going to be able to discuss at the end. And thank you for your patience waiting. first thing I'd like to do is for you guys to write down the definitions of every category. And by the way, your patience and turn taking is exemplary. Love that. Oh, yes, Sam?
We saw dragon leaf and it actually feels like a dragon and it actually looks like dragon skin.
Okay. We saw lots of plants. So job number 1 is we're going to write down the main parts of the food chain. This is the lesson, and then your readings today are going to be all about the food chain. The sun is the beginning of the food chain. Sunlight brings photosynthesis. Everyone write down sunlight. Number 1, sunlight. That is what starts the food chain. And since many of you are in 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, I'm going to show you how you can decode words, big science words that you may not have heard of before. There's always the prefix, and these are giving you clues to what the word means. Raise your hand if you remember what a prefix is. Josh. Where does it come in a word? At the beginning or end?
Beginning.
At the beginning. Yes, Josh.
And there's suffixes that
What?
come at the end.
The suffix come at the end. So with the word sunlight, we have learned about photosynthesis. The prefix photo means light. And the root word synth means a complex process, like a synthesizer. So a light that is a complex process is photosynthesis. Can I have everyone say photosynthesis? And for our purposes, we're going to call it sunlight. So write sunlight down on your paper. Yes, Alexander. PHOTOSYNTHESIS. And that is a bonus optional. We're going to call that sunlight today. Yes, hold on, Kaden.
That's a big one.
Sunlight helps the plants grow. So you put seasonal growth. So sunlight's shining down on it. So the plants can grow.
You're connecting it up. I think we're on the right path here. Right now today in Oregon, do we have much sunlight? Let's look at the weather. Not really. But there's enough that comes through the cloud during daylight. I love that everyone has got their hands raised and has tons of questions. We're going to move to the next word so we can get going on the activity. What Kaden said, plants, trees, bushes, these are producers. Write the word producers. I see many have already written it. Producers are going to be plants. They're always plants. Okay, it's always going to be a flower, a tree, a bush. Drew, you have something very important to say. What is it, Drew?
Okay, so the sunlight makes the flowers be able to be producers, and then the consumers come and eat the plant, which makes the plant die, and then the decomposers eat the plant, and then it reads it.
I think you nailed it. Okay, keep that in mind. That's great. Good summary of what we're doing. If you're still writing the words, that's perfectly okay. We're learning vocabulary and how to decode the vocabulary. Josh?
These words have prefixes. Look, pro, con, and d.
Well, yes, they do. Thank you for that. When you are coming across a passage or a reading, hold on, Zach, and you see a prefix. Pro means to advance. That means to put forth berries, to put forth acorns and pine cones. Pro is the prefix means to advance. Good observation. Con means to take away. So if you are consuming a pizza, you're nibbling it up and gobbling it up and making it disappear. And D means to break apart, just like a snail or a little bugs and critters break apart an old log. So all of these prefixes are ways when you come across a word you don't know, you can use these clues. That's a life hack for kids in 4th and 5th grade. Nice going. All right, next word is consumers. Those are the plants or animals that eat up the producers. Can you think of an example of a consumer? And it doesn't just have to be in our garden. Wade. Caterpillar. What is he eating? The caterpillar is eating what? Weeds and yeah, that's right. Alexander, can you think of one of your favorite animals in the wild that's a consumer? Wolves. Wolves are definitely consumers. What do wolves eat? Meat. Wolves are going to eat meat. They are definitely consumers. And last but not least, write the word decomposers. They break things apart. Snails, slugs, sometimes ants. They go into the soil, right? And when we learned about how things grow, sunlight, air, and water, often from the soil, is what makes the producers grow. Just like you've mentioned, that's what makes them grow. So the decomposers breaking up the soil helps the water sink down and feed the producers. All right, and Mrs. Mack and Mrs. Giddings, has everyone written all the definitions down? Okay, I'll walk over here. Josh, you have a question?
Can you tell me what the prefix con means again?
Con means that you are taking in, like to take away, like you're consuming, like, let's see, I have my notes here of a few good examples. Like a con artist is taking stuff. To conserve is to, like conserve water, is to be kind of stingy with it or not use it. Con means kind of like well, a little bit more like saving and thrifty. And consume means I'm taking it in. Okay, comment. 3 comments last, and then we're going to move to the activity. Drew?
Are we going to go outside?
Excellent question. The answer is absolutely yes. As soon as we get all of our books, all of our definitions and vocabulary, great grammar lesson, learning about how to decode science words. Okay. All right. Raise your hand if you would like to share your notes on the overhead so we can see how everybody took some great science notes. Alexander, come on up. And Alexander's in 3rd grade, and he's keeping up with all the 5th grade science, so I am so impressed with Alexander. Alexander always has his name and date at the top. What do you have here, Alexander?
I don't know.
Photosynthesis, that's okay.
Producers, consumers,
Decomposers.
suck at saying.
You don't. Good job with those big 5th grade words. You rock. This is terrific, and I like your wolf. Wolves are definitely consumers. Oh, you have a question in a moment? Okay, can you wait for Josh to share his work? What do we got going on here? Josh, would you like to hold the pointer? Okay. Okay. Can you explain what's happening? It looks like a food web.
Bam. Producers. Produces things like the tree. It produces things like pine cones and stuff. And other things like flowers.
Okay.
Consumers consumes the things that the producers make, like a honeybee from a beehive on the flower. And then the decomposers, they make more things, like the worm or the mushrooms. That's one of the weirdest mushrooms I've ever made.
Well explained and terrific
Yeah.
notes. Do you think you can read your handwriting?
Okay,
Can you read your handwriting?
I just did.
Yes, you did. I like that everyone in this class can read their own handwriting on their notes.
A millipede. And when they roll up all the way, they die. So you mean to put them back as quickly as you can before they roll up. Baby strawberries. Oh, and the tulips. They hold the water for other plants and animals to eat it. For the animals to eat it.
Okay, I would like to see Aiden can explain this.
Rain and mud is making to
Let's first identify, what did you find in our garden that was a producer? We're gonna take a few ideas. Sam, a producer in our very own garden.
A plant.
A plant, okay, that counts. Okay, any other producers in our garden? Zach?
I know what the garden looks like because I've been out there a lot of times. I don't know what those plants are called on the fence.
Honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle. Those are producers for the bees, so the bees can also help the flowers.
Okay, excellent. Okay, we're going to move on to consumer. What things did we find or hear that eat plants or other animals? Wade?
I found a praying mantis.
Can you turn around for us with us? Oh, a praying mantis. Okay.
A praying mantis egg.
Egg. Okay. All right. Insects sure do that.
And we heard a frog.
And we heard a frog. Indeed, every day our class hears frogs outside. So it's a very healthy garden. Okay. Decomposers. Let's get a couple examples of decomposers. Josh.
I found a spider.
And what would it break down? What does a spider break down?
Flies and stuff. So it's basically a consumer.
It's a consumer. That is
I
correct.
wanted to show it, but it got inside of my sleeve, so I was like,
Yeah. Let's come up with another decomposer. But I like your participation. What else?
Spider's also a producer technically. You know why? It lays about 1,000 baby spiders in one egg stack.
And maybe, okay.
So in like 5 egg sacs, there would be 5,000 spiders all at once. But some of them don't survive. And black widow moms actually die when they lay their babies. And then the babies eat them.
Okay, I have a question. Could something be both like a spider? Maybe is there a consumer that eats spiders? Yes. Alexander? We're looking at decomposers, and spiders can break up the soil, so can slugs and worms. But let's talk also about if you have a spider, could something eat the spider eggs? Is there an animal that might eat spider eggs? What do you say?
A pig.
A pig might eat spider eggs. Babe?
Remember? Oh, wait, no. Charlotte's Web.
Okay.
The common housefly is a well-known buzzing nuisance. I had one in my house last night. Oh, big horsefly.
And since you're in 6th grade, you're getting a more advanced version of the food web. And it was great to see you participating with the other kids.
What would happen if we didn't have bees?
This is consuming this.
What would happen?
Then we wouldn't have honey.
Probably we wouldn't have honey either, would we?
Yeah, because I sometimes, because I have honey at my house, and I like to make peanut butter honey sandwich.
Peanut butter and honey sandwiches. Okay.